I told you I just don't know the password. Hi guys, and welcome to tonight's show. As you all know, I'm Zeleny.
And I'm Wendy.
The show's not intended for children under the age of 18 unless you allow it. We have no sponsors. Everything that you see here is from us. And just to let you know, tonight's music, we have all the rights to them. What else? I think that's it, right?
Yep, still shot time.
Shot. We are doing passion fruit.
Yes.
Let us know what you're taking a shot of. Oh, that went down good because, you know, I love sweet stuff.
Me too.
Mixologist, let us know what we're drinking today.
We're keeping it simple today.
Because we're going out drinking later.
Yeah. Ask me tomorrow if I regret all my decisions tonight.
You work. So what? I work too.
It's 5 in the morning?
Well, at 5 in the morning, I'm getting up to go to the gym. So, well, maybe it might be 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got to come back, and I got some clients in the morning. So, you know, it's all good. It's all good in the hood.
I guess.
Hi, guys. Thanks for joining. So, while she mixes up our drinks, well, she's not
pouring in.
You didn't see that.
No,
You heard it.
They just heard it.
They just heard it. It doesn't matter. I'm going to go over tonight's topics. The first one, it is banning of books. I saw a lot that you were posting. I didn't even know that was going on, and that's a shame.
Oh, especially down south?
Yes.
Like in Texas, Missouri, like they ban a lot of books.
Ooh, take a look at that. I bought this thing. It makes round balls of ice. So we don't have to fight for ice cubes anymore. Nobody has to come after us for that. So you can shut up about that now.
It's only like 2 people.
Yeah. We won't call you guys out. Anyway. Yeah, that's a shame about, you know, what's going on. I am a vivid reader. I love having a book in my hand to read, which I've changed to audiobook just because of how much time I spend in the car going into office. But I generally love having a book in my hand. And when you cut out the topics or the titles that I'm entitled to read, that's shameful. Do you guys like to read? Yes, no, let us know.
If so, what kind of genre? It's like, no, yeah, it is a really sad thing. And I don't understand how parents are okay with this. Like, I don't understand why parents aren't at school board meetings fighting and arguing. Like, I understand there's certain books that need to be banned. There's one, I can't remember what state, but they want to put this, and I'm all for LGBTQ. Like, I'm all for it, but this book is a little too graphic for elementary kids. Maybe if it was middle school or high school, I'd be all for it, but I feel like, alright, I understand banning that in elementary schools. I'm in support of that one, but all these other books, just because you don't like how certain things are portrayed, I don't think, well, some books are just banned because it's LGBTQ, or because it relates to slavery, and God forbid, we paint America in such an ugly light. So.
I didn't get to read too much about it just because of how busy I have been, and that's not an excuse. When you're not okay with something happening, you should definitely be involved. You should definitely educate yourself as far as that comes. So I'm when I have some downtime, I'm going to definitely do that. But do you know the exact reason? Is it just because of...
It varies. It really depends on the school district and the state and stuff like that. Like, York, PA has, like, I think 21 books on their ban list. We don't have any on the Allentown School District.
But why?
That's what it is, because they feel some of it are pushing, like, what is it they call it? The queer agenda. Some of it, like, I think Texas is one of them. It's like, oh, we don't want, like,
and is
Black
it just...
history.
Is it just elementary, or does it go for middle and high school?
It spans, like, middle and high school. Like, it may not be the same books, but you do have them all banning some type of book.
Well, I know for my children's school, they don't have a library, but there's a teacher that's making sure that there are a lot of books. I think, you know, I had shared that on Facebook last year, and a lot of people had donated books to make sure that the school had enough books for the children to have them available to read. And there was the Christian Grey series. And I was like, well, maybe I'll see if I should put this in there or I shouldn't. And they took them. They wanted them to have it because, you know, it was for the high schoolers.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to take that type of books or those type of series away from the children, because obviously they should have all types available to them. So I'm definitely against banning. But you know what it is too? Society has become so sensitive to everything around. You can't even joke anymore without somebody getting butt hurt. So I can just imagine the books that are out there. And like you said, yes, I do agree elementary students should not be exposed. And even some middle school children, 6th, 7th grade, should not be exposed to certain things. But taking away from our high schoolers who are about to go out into the world, I'm not in agreement to that.
No, I do agree. Now, I think it's ridiculous when, this is a little off of banning books, but when classrooms are giving parents options to let their child decline from, like, Black history and stuff. Like, there was a lawsuit in the country, I believe, where the parents were like, we don't want our kids learning about Black history because we're Christians and that doesn't portray our faith correctly because we're taught to love X, Y, and Z. I'm like, but no one's telling you not to. This is part of life. This is what happened. So they sued the school district. The school district settled.
Of course, because they're always going to settle.
They said, this is not us admitting fault. This is just, you know, kind of getting it over with. I think they settled for like fucking $50,000.
But see, here's the thing. You're negating what happened in our life. It's not that you're teaching them not to love. As a matter of fact, you should teach them what happened and how you should love now. Because that's the past and it did happen.
Yeah.
And there was no love back then because of the color of your skin or how you were raised, or not how you were raised, and the conditions you were raised because you were not white.
Well, I know there was a state down south that sent home like permission slips so that parents can opt their children out and stuff like that.
That shouldn't be an option. I didn't have that option. Not that I wanted that option either, but it wasn't an option. See, this is what I'm talking about. You are giving, there's so many sensitive people nowadays, or, you know, the Karens, as they say it now, and not that I'm attacking any, you know.
Fuck it, I am.
It's not that I'm attacking any culture, but, you know, when we say Karens, it's the sensitive people nowadays that.
Well, I can't imagine black people opting out of their kids out of Black history, so.
Right.
Or Hispanic being like, oh, you can't learn about Black history.
Right. Soy la mana. Easy money for people who complain. Exactly.
I was like, I wish I lived in that school district because I freaking complain and sue too. Counter sue. Like, hey, but that's not fair. Like, I feel like you're not listening to my racial culture.
Right.
And then settle for 50 grand too.
Very smart.
Sometimes.
Very smart.
Like, so anyone who lives in the country, feel free. Make their life a living hell.
It's true. You don't give the person the option to do that. It's part of history. History is taught in school. There you go. So why ban a book that may teach you about history? Now your child cannot read it. You're giving them the option to not learn about something that you can. And it's funny because we took a poll if they agreed. What was the poll? If they agreed with the banning of the book?
I think most said no, they do not agree.
But there was some that said that they did agree. And I wish, honestly, if there was a way we could take out the names of people who comment, and those few that did agree would comment as to why they agreed on the banning of books. If there was an option in, you know, the settings just for tonight's show to just take out the names of people who want to comment, because I would love to know why you agree with banning of books. What's your reasoning? Or even if you don't mind in sharing, because I would just love, and it's not to attack at all.
Sometimes you just need to listen to a different perspective.
Right.
Maybe we didn't think of it that way.
I would like, because, you know, the reason for the podcast is to agree to disagree in a healthy environment, because obviously I wouldn't allow nobody to attack anybody, but I would like to know why you agree on a banning of a book. Is it the same reasons for us because of, you know, elementary kids not knowing,
like I said,
certain things?
If it's too explicit, then I'm against for elementary. I know there was an article, this was a while ago, because we were talking about it at work, about this book that this school allowed in, and I was, and it was elementary school, and I was just sitting there like, are you kidding me? Like, this is a little too much. Like, I don't agree with it. But, like, there are other LGBTQ books that I think, like, hey, I don't see it being a problem being in elementary school. Like, it's about kids questioning their gender because of being bullied. And that goes on now. How many times do you read the newspaper or an article online about how a 9 to 8-year-old killed themselves because they were being bullied, because they were being called gay and they didn't have an outlet? Like, that book might have helped them.
And I do agree with that. At TV shows, there's certain TV shows for children. I know we're talking about books and I'm mentioning TV, but there are certain TV shows that are for small children I don't agree with, just because you're introducing something to them that is so small that they're not aware of.
Do you know a specific TV show?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Because I know Disney had Owl House. I thought it was a cute show. And they canceled it because I guess parents were in an uproar about the main character being possibly a lesbian. I saw that show with my daughter. It's very subtle. It wasn't like blatant, like, oh, they have a crush on each other. Because, yeah, the girl blushed, but it could have been from embarrassment because she was doing a lot of stupid shit all the time, too. Like,
I want to see that, because that may be something that I may I would have to see it. I may be in a disagreement with you. How small, you know, until you're old enough to really experiment and know, what it is to be with a man, for you to know that you're a lesbian, that's my take on it. So that's when I say, when I am not in agreement with a show, to give it to a child.
So do you think, I know this is going to really segue, so we might have to put a pin on it and maybe make that a subject another day, about kids knowing their sexual orientation when they're small. Like, do you agree with that, or you think they don't know?
I think that, no.
The reason why I ask is because since small, my sister and I knew my brother was gay, and I mean like when he was 6.
Like flamboyant, because he was flamboyant?
Yeah. And on some level, I'm pretty sure he knew, but he was just in denial because, you know, at that time, especially at that time, like, you're not supposed to embrace it.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
When he said he was gay, did he try to ever be with a woman? Or he's never been with a woman at all?
Not I'm aware of, he's never been with a woman.
Okay. I don't know. I mean,
he's had best friends that are female, and there has been plenty of females that have hit on him.
Yeah.
So he's had an ample opportunity, but he's not attracted that way. He's always known. So, because you know, there's also that debate about like whether it's genetics, like whether it's a decision or you're born with it, like that whole thing. So
see, I don't think you're. I don't know. Maybe with this. Yeah, let's leave that for another. Yeah, we'll put a pin on it, because for me, it's they can be flamboyant, but until they've actually been with a girl, they can't say like, yeah, that's definitely not for me.
I mean, I know plenty of gay men that haven't been with girls, and they know because they hang out with enough girls, they're not attracted at all. They know, like, when I've talked to them and asked about it. I mean, because they're my close friends, I'm not going to be asking fucking strangers. Although I probably would, like, because I am that stupid. But most of them have answered like they knew a long time. Like, if they were with a girl, it's either because they are bi or because they felt like they had to be with a girl, and then found out like they were just miserable.
Because I can't. I don't know. I'm so torn with that subject.
So then who's to say?
Because at six, you're not born gay.
That we know of. Because who's to say? Why are we born straight? Well, who's to say that's not a choice? Maybe we're really lesbians and we chose to be with men. Like,
I would need more. I need more. Anyways,
I need more to make that decision. From the subject anyway.
Let's go back. Yes. Yeah, because we have like 1 minute left on this.
Sorry.
But I don't.
I think when it comes to banning books, parents need to be more involved, and I don't mean just in the school, in the classroom, in the school boards as well, because that's where the decision comes from. Is the school board meetings. So, like, as parents...
So the school board makes this decision on banning books. It's not coming from, like, the state?
Sometimes it does. Like, sometimes, like, we're not... This is so ass backwards. Like, I keep on hearing, like, so beautiful. I'm like, I could never live in Texas. I'm sorry. But,
did this originate in Texas? Because it seems like everything always happens in damn Texas.
Because Texas is ass backwards. I feel like it's Texas too, but no, I feel like Texas is just probably the first one to be like, we're doing it this way. And then you got the other states like, you know what? I like your thought. I'm going to join now.
Is Texas Democratic or Republican?
Republican. Yeah. So, not that we're going into politics anyway.
We're not either. I'm just asking questions. Because like I said earlier, I haven't looked into it just because I haven't had the time. And we all know I like looking into things. You know, before I
But it's funny that you brought up the politics, because it is usually Republicans that are banning that are banning the books, that are banning abortions, that are having like these crazy. So it is usually the Republicans. It's
coming from there.
Yeah. So
and then it just seems to spread. But it is a shame, and people, like you said, there should be parents that are more involved when it comes to why you're banning a book. It's the education of your children, and it seems like the more time passes, the more these children are getting dumber, and it's because of things like this.
Parent involvement. They expect schools to teach everything, but it's not just a school responsibility. Parents need to be involved too. It's your responsibility as well.
Right. All right. We're moving on to the next topic. Oh, okay, cool. All right. I tried to keep a straight face with this topic.
So we want to leave that one for last, or we want to do that one middle?
No, we'll do it in the middle just to bring a little bit more excitement.
Okay.
Okay, so it's males. It's getting your ass eaten, and females eating ass. So, unfortunately, we did have a guest host, and it was of the male species, but it didn't work out. And it would have been nice to have a male perspective.
We have a male audience. We could ask them.
We did, so...
And they'll be anonymous because no one will know. They'll be anonymous. We don't have to put their name out there.
Right. So we do want a lot of our male viewers to chime in on this because we are females. So we're going to either have the same point of view. We might have different points of view. But we're going to try to hit both, boxing gloves when it comes to this one. So, I can't speak from a male perspective.
I'm like, huh? She's only to speak from a female. So.
I can, but, okay. Why are you looking at me like that?
I was going to say something stupid, but I figured that's not everyone's business.
And we are going to keep it... We are going to keep it very to the point. We're going to keep it very respectful because that's how we want to keep it. But, all right. So, from a female's perspective, I am not eating ass.
Me neither.
I'm not eating ass.
I have friends that have. They be like, oh, when he's drunk, he'll let you. And they'll say it's good in the moment, but then they be like, don't do that. I mean, we be having some weird ass conversations everywhere, so.
Well, girls do have the tendency to talk amongst each other because we're gonna do that.
As if men don't.
Men do talk about it, but men. Let me tell you what, men will not talk amongst men and be like, "Yo, she ate my ass," or "I let her eat my ass." They're gonna take it to their grave.
Yeah.
They're gonna take it to their grave. Let me tell you that much. Unless.
Well, there's like nerve endings there that's supposed to, for men, that's supposed to heighten the sexual experience.
Right.
I mean, if you do, that's on you, no judgment. I just don't do it. I'm not eating your ass.
Let me just tell you this. You have an asshole. Surrounded by that asshole are butt cheeks, okay? So no matter how much you clean that, it's suffocated by ass cheeks. And whether you have a big ass or a tiny ass, it's still suffocated by butt cheeks. And you can clean it 50 times a day, but it's smothered in there. So you can say, oh yeah, right after the shower. After the shower, unless you're walking from the shower to the room with your ass cheeks spread open.
Just do it in the shower.
No, because you're going to drown with the... I'm sorry. I think that's true. What I'm saying, right? It's smothered. Whether you got a small ass or a big ass.
Talking in regards, they think it's true that men are not going to share that aspect with each other.
Oh, well, which one? Tell us which one it is. Because it's smothered. Unless you're walking with your butt cheek. Not only that, if I'm going to sit there and I'm going to eat your ass, the one thing that's going to be spread through my mind is through this butthole, someone is shitting out of. Whether it's a small shit, it's a big shit, you're shitting through that. That's the only thing. And I'm going to be like, ugh, ugh. So you may be feeling pleasure, but I'm feeling disgust. And it's not that I don't love you, but I'm sorry, there's just certain things I can do and there's only certain things I can't do. Yeah, a guy won't admit to the boys because he's going to get ragged on. Absolutely. Unless you're going to want to keep that personal. Now, for a girl, it's different because while you're down there, it's great. So that tongue might slip. But let me tell you what. While I'm there, I don't want you licking my asshole either because I'm going to be like, yo, back it up. Back it up. Wait. That's the universal sign that she doesn't. She's got something to say. She doesn't want nothing to say. Wendy, spill it.
So,
Spill it.
Okay.
She just took a sip.
So there's a lot of guys that have done it, because you say about how guys don't talk about amongst each other. I definitely, and I'm not talking about gay guys, I'm talking about straight guys that have talked about it. I don't know if it's because I'm a female or not, but I have had male guys be like, oh yeah, she ate my ass at first. The first time it was weird, X, Y, and Z, but X, Y, and Z. So I'm not gonna expose them, but I mean, there are some people that have no shame in their game and be like, fuck yeah, I like that shit. Like, some of them will get a finger in their butthole if you rub it right, because the nerve ending there and stuff like that. Not me, because I'm not sticking my finger in your butthole either. Sorry.
I'm not doing that either. Like, you don't know. I'm white. Next thing you know, it's brown. No, thank you. No, thank you.
You're ridiculous.
Let me tell you what. I am such a shy person. I really am such a shy person. I have to feel totally comfortable with you, because I'll be like, oh my God. Oh
there has
my God.
to be a level of trust, intimacy, and comfortability, like, for you to explore certain areas that I'm originally not comfortable with. But there was this lady.
Yeah, woo! I can't. I can't.
Oh, I don't know what happened, but okay. She used to. I don't want to say like teach sex, but she did give insight on sex. She was like let's say a sex therapist, I think, something along those lines. I mean, she used to be on Facebook all the time. I haven't seen her lately, but like the one thing she did go over was like anal play. And she like went and like, she didn't show you exactly her douching, but she did like was like, oh, this is a douche, like you want to clean out your butt if you know you're gonna do anal and blah blah blah, like all this stuff. And I'm like, I wonder how many men douche before like they're like, yeah, let's have anal play. Like,
well, here's my thing. When you are in a gay relationship, your butthole is like a main attraction. So for guys, that is something that is very important. For a straight guy, they're probably like, no, don't get near.
No, I'm talking about straight guys. I have had straight guys tell me they've had their
butthole licked.
Yeah. Not gay. Straight guys.
So then, I wish there was a female
that says that they like to lick butt.
Okay. We're just gonna ignore that. So then there are females who don't mind to lick a butthole.
You're right, some don't mind.
Now here's my thing. You know, men must shave their butthole, because men have hairy buttholes.
Who's to say some men don't wax? You just, some only women do. Some men do.
Do we have an audience that wax men? So you have to sit there. So for women who wax, they have to turn around, spread their butt cheeks. Does it bother a man to have to do that to an esthetician? Because I know when I go to the waxing, I kind of get really red. I get really red. I turn around. You have to spread your butt cheeks and you have to wax. Is that embarrassing for a man as well? Do we have any man?
Maybe they're getting like a special ending with it too.
Well, a lot of women do like their salad toss. I mean, oh yes, there are some women, because that's normal. But the question here is, does the man like to have, let's stay on topic, the man like to have their buttholes licked? That's the question. Women, of course, that's natural to have their thing, you know. The question is, do you men like having your buttholes licked? And we're talking about straight men.
It's a safe place. We're not gonna like announce your name. You can DM it. You can answer. Like, we're not men.
What is it that? What I mean, you guys submitted the topics. We didn't.
I know that was it a female who submitted that, or was
no?
That a guy?
That was a guy.
Maybe you should have messaged.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should have asked them directly before we came live. I'm sorry.
Hey, what's normal for the woman is normal for the man. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, it is. Okay, not you. Okay, why not? Why not you? Why not?
Should we start with an ice cube? Tickle that first before we move on.
Why is it?
I'm sorry. I know.
It is normal. Like, I have no problem. Now here's the thing. Like, if I was what I said, having like that's the other thing. I personally don't want to lick a butthole. You want to lick my butthole? That's you. I personally don't want you to lick my butthole. Because while it's there, I'm gonna be like that is where I poop out of. I mean, I don't poop. My body absorbs it and it goes out through my sweat when I'm at the gym. That's how I get rid of feces.
Okay.
We're just gonna leave that at that. Okay. But my thing is, if you're a hairy person, your butthole's gotta be hairy too. My tongue is gonna get entangled in there. Don't want to do it.
I don't think we all need those graphics.
Just saying. If you look at a person and he's hairy, his butthole's hairy.
Can you imagine that's the one spot he's not hairy?
The only thing, if I look at him, the one place that's not hairy is his kneecap, probably.
So you gonna lick his kneecap?
Nope, don't want to do that either, or his elbow. Because if you look at him, his earlobe is probably hairy. Now, I'm telling you, now every time you look at somebody, you're going to look at his earlobe.
No, I'm not. You not infiltrating my brain like that. Stop.
You said poop. No, I said it evaporates. It evaporates. I'm telling you, I'm an overthinker. I overthink everything. That's why the person that has to be with me has to be very communicative, if that's a word, and whatever. It takes a strong person to be with me. Let's just put it like that. If you're not strong, you're not meant for me. I'm an overthinker. I overthink everything. Everything. Therefore, I could not lick somebody's butthole. That's why if you submitted this topic, I think you should be in this conversation, assisting the sister out. But
are they in this conversation?
I don't think so.
Damn it. How do you submit a topic and not even be on here?
But I'm just saying, okay. It is okay for a man to like, and I'm not, whether you're gay, whether you're straight, it is okay if you are a male to have your butthole licked. Like you said earlier, in the anatomy, there are sensations there that trigger you to have an orgasm and sexual pleasure. What was that stare? What's a double dutch?
The jump ropes. Two jump ropes.
I'm sorry. I thought that was like a sexual phrase. I really did. I was like, what's a double dutch?
Bro, why you look at me like I'm supposed to know?
Because you're very informative sometimes. And there are females that like to give that pleasure to the man. I'm not that female, but.
Although
I what?
The one that said, don't be sexist. You be looking butthole? You don't have to answer. But, I mean.
Oh, I think they mean douche.
Oh.
Double douche. Did you mean douche? Or did you actually mean double dutch?
I think he meant double dutch, like the right moment to jump in to make their comment. I mean, I don't know.
No, he might have meant double douche. Like clean the front and the butt.
So you don't douche your penis. Wait, do you guys? Can you douche your penis?
I don't know. There's a hole. Hey, I mean, anything goes in the bedroom.
With the right partner, yes, it does.
I mean, if you're, let me tell you what, if you have the right listen, if you have the right partner and they make you feel safe, secure, I mean, you could be strung on the ceiling with some zip ties, some zip cords, bungee cords, and anything goes. That is absolutely true. I mean, that is true. Just leave it at that.
No, they meant double dutch.
No double dutch. So what do you mean with that?
That the person's waiting for the right moment to jump in the convo to make their comment.
Yeah.
But now you got me wondering. I was like, can a dude douche his penis? Like, is that?
No, I don't think that hole is big enough to put that thing.
Do you not remember the thing we talked about a while ago where that vibrating thing, like they stick the metal rods in their urethra and then they stretch it out? Yeah. So I guess you could.
But that's so. Does that shrink back if you stick a big ass rod in that little ass hole? That thing stays like this. It reminds me of the earlobe.
The gauges.
Yeah. So that the penis is gonna stay like that big with the hole that big. That's disgusting. Now that mental image is gonna just stay in my mind with a saggy thing this big.
We're gonna have to go on TikTok and ask that dude.
Yeah, I think that's true. If you and your partner are into whatever you both do, then by all means, freak it out and be happy. I mean, yes. And it's not like you're going to go announce it like, oh, she licked my butthole. Or, hey, I lick his butthole. But, I mean, it is a topic that was submitted. So we are inclined to talk about it. Like, you could be okay with licking a butthole. I'm not okay with licking a butthole. That could always change if you find the right person to make it happen. All right, we're gonna move on to the next subject because I don't think the person who submitted this topic is
double dutching.
That just sounds so freaky to me. All right, the last topic is, at what age are you supposed to stop having kids? First of all, in my opinion, I don't think it's anybody's business to say when you're supposed to stop having kids. But I will say, because I do have an opinion, I can comment, and we all have opinions. Our opinions are like buttholes. Get it? Everybody has one. And not everybody licks them. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Oh my god. I'm sorry. All right. No. I feel like the appropriate age to stop having children is 40. Let me just say why. Okay. Medically, you start having problems at the age of 40. And let me just explain. Your eggs start to die down at that age. You can start having children with medical problems at the age of 40. However, let's just say you go your whole life trying to have kids. Miscarriages come into play. You just can't conceive. Now you hit 40 and miraculously, you're pregnant. I'm not saying it's bad to now have a kid at 40, but your health is at risk. You can get gestational diabetes. You have higher chances of having a child with problems such as, Down syndrome. But that is my opinion. Don't kill me for it, but that's my opinion. What's yours?
I agree to an extent. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I have my kids young. Mm-hmm. I cannot foresee me having a kid now. The energy to keep up with them, I don't have that same energy. Like, I mean, you could work out, you could do whatever, but I feel like I would never moving forward, I wouldn't be at 100% like I was before. Like, because, you know, as you get older, you slow down, your energy dwindles or whatever. Now, I think if you're 50 and having kids, you're being selfish. And I don't mean that inconsiderate, because if it does end up having, like, being a miracle or a rainbow baby or whatever, just for the simple fact is, once you get older, you have more health complications. Why are you going to have a kid if you're not even sure you're going to be around for the next 40 years? Like, people die at 60 and 70, 80. So you're going to have a kid and then they're going to be orphaned because you passed away. Like, because you're old. Shit happens. I mean, granted, you can have a heart attack at 23. That doesn't change shit. But your chances does increase as you get older.
Let us know in the comments at what age do you think a woman... And remember, this is our opinion. It's your opinion. Nobody can crucify you for it. At what age do you think somebody should stop having a child? I know we have a comment in the comment section, and I'm going to read it now. But at what age do you think somebody should stop having children? And we're talking about women and men. Because remember, men can have children too. They do have sperm in their balls. Let us know. So someone says, that's only women. Men can have kids as long as they want, being healthy and active.
No, I agree. I don't agree with that, because men die too. So if they're 50, just because you can, you should. Like, no.
So now, let's just say a man who is healthy and active, just because they're active and healthy, they can still get into a car accident and die. A stroke.
It doesn't mean just because you have a stroke or heart attack, you can still be healthy and still fucking have them shits.
Right. So you're 50. Yes. If you're 50 and your penis still gets hard and your balls still produce sperm, you should have a kid. No, you're 50. So now your child is born. It takes 9 months. You're still 50. So 50 to 60, your child is 10. 60 to 70, your child is 20. Damn, you're 20 years old, your dad is 70, he's old as shit. That's not okay. I mean...
Right now, like, the oldest woman to become pregnant is 59.
Right. The question is should, not could. Right. At what age should you still have children? Not could.
And what I think irks me the most is, like, I understand women carry the kid, but it's like, all right, so for women, they say the top should be 40. Like, beyond 40, they shouldn't consider having kids. Now, for men, they're like, oh, yeah, till they're fucking 60 is fine.
No.
Like, so what, does dad need to be involved in the kid's life? Like,
no, okay, so because you're healthy, you can still produce at 60. 60, again, 70, the child is 10. 80, the child is... When do you plan on playing with the child? You're 70.
Can you imagine running after a kid?
Right. At what age you plan on taking this child to the park? They're going to be like, oh my God, your grandkid is so cute. No, that's my child. You can't even keep up with the child.
That's why I say, like, at a certain age, I do feel like it's selfish, and I feel bad, because if for whatever reason you're one of those people that couldn't have kids and it just so happened, and I know you're going to want it, and it's not from the lack of love, because I'm pretty sure you will love it, especially because it took you so long or whatever. It's just, realistically, like, especially when they go to school and they're like, oh, your mom is old. Because let's be honest, these little kids are fucking vicious as hell. Vicious.
Oh, your grandma came to parent-teacher conference? No, that's my mom. She's old.
Like, why does your mom look like my granny?
I think when they say women versus men, it's more of a health concern, not being active in the child's life.
And it is true. Like, most people take that into consideration, is about the health concern. But my aspect is, like, at that point, hence why I say it's selfish, because no one's thinking about the child. Like, should something happen and you pass away, the kid is still young because you waited. I mean, accidents happen at any age. But as you get older, health problems do increase. So you can be here today and gone tomorrow, but especially because you had a kid so late, whether it be diabetes or heart attack, stroke, aneurysm, whatever that may have occurred, your kid has to deal with that outcome, and there's no one really there to, because let's think about it. If you are 60, having this kid, most likely your parents are really old or your parents are dead. And unless you have siblings, who's going to stay with this child?
Yeah. It's going to be another child that's taking care of the, you know.
I don't know. I just can't imagine. I mean, I'm only like 35. Yeah, 35. And I can't even imagine having a kid now.
Look at all the sports children are in as well. For you to keep up with them.
I barely can keep up with mine now. Shit. So, like, exactly. Like, I cannot imagine starting over now, having a kid now, trying to, like, especially, you know, when they hit those twos to entertain and do activities and then field trips and then being involved, chaperoning field trips when they start pre-K or school elementary. And it's just, whew. Oh, shit, 74.
Yeah. Let's see. I just looked up. 74-year-old reportedly had twins. Maybe the oldest to ever give birth. And that was in 2019. She gave birth to twins via cesarean section. I wanted, of course. No.
74 though?
Yeah, in India.
74. Like, I can't even.
Like, okay, so she's 74 to give birth to twins.
Like, was she like a surrogate? Like the baby's going somewhere else?
No.
Oh, fuck no.
Okay, so now let's take a look at that. The parents are together. They're both old. So when 74, when the babies are 84.
And that's assuming they haven't died from any health complications.
So where are those babies
going to
go?
makes it to 100.
Where are those babies going to go?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's not about health. It's really more about selfishness.
Okay, so here's another question that just came in, which is really good. What if you were financially stable? Should you?
You mean to have the kid at 74 if I was financially stable? Fuck no.
Or probably just old. Let's just talk. Let's not look at the 74-year-old. Let's look at you were 40, 45, and you are financially stable. From a financial standpoint, yes. But let's look at okay. Now let's take a look at their health. How is their health? We'll ask you that question. Since you put the scenario, let's keep going. Now I'll ask you the question. How's their health? And let's be realistic. Let's not just say, yes, they're healthy.
They run marathons. So,
let's finish this scenario. You're putting the scenario. How's their health?
I feel like...
Are mother and father together?
Healthy enough to have a child. So is there no underlying issues? Like, I'm not pre-diabetic. I don't have high cholesterol. Does it run in my family? Do I need to worry about thyroid? Do I need to worry about aneurysms? Do I need to worry about all that stuff? What about the father? His family health conditions or his own? So,
Okay. No es el dinero, es que uno esté bien y se lo pueda gozar. That's another viewer chiming in. Estamos esperando que nos dé más información sobre este pariente.
So my personal opinion, if I was financially stable, let's say at 40 to have another kid, so that'd be like 5 years from now.
Why would you do that?
I wouldn't. No, I'm done with kids. I like kids. I'm not having any more. Shop is closed. But if I'm not able... Anyways, unless I have a contingency plan, like should something happen to me, I need to know who's going to take care of my kids, who's going to be around. If I'm an only child, my parents are dead, I'm not going to have a kid so that they can what? End up in foster care or an orphanage or whatever. No. Like, I'm not having a kid until I know, like, accidents happen. I can die tomorrow and I'm not even 40.
No, we're not going down this tunnel because that's not the question. Okay, so we'll create the scenario ourselves. So healthy enough to have a child. So you said you're healthy enough to have a child, then you're financially stable.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I would need to know plans. So should something happen for me tomorrow, my kids would be taken care of. Not just like money wise. I need someone who's gonna love him or her, support them, like be involved, not just be there and raise them with like the bare minimum of like, oh, they have a roof over their head, they got clothes and food. No, I need you to be as involved as I was. Like, I want you to make their sports your interest, the schools and everything. I understand this is not your child, but I'm going to make sure you never have to be like, oh, I'm at working 20 hours a day because I now have another mouth to feed and I can barely support myself. Like, life insurance is important. Set your kids up now so that if you die, I'm giving life insurance to. Anyway, like my kids are gonna be like, all right, the financial aspect is covered for the most part. Now we just have to give them that love and attention that they deserve. What about you?
Me?
Yeah.
I think if I am like past my 40s, I'm financially stable, I'm healthy enough, I would make sure, and I probably have the two that I have. I probably still wouldn't have it just because I know the two that I have, all they have are each other. The current family that I have right now, they're off doing their own thing. This little one would probably be on its own as well. And that is not what I'm looking for this little one. It would be too small. These would be too grown doing their own thing. Therefore, this one, no, definitely not.
I mean, me and my youngest brother, there's like about a 10-year gap between us. So it'd be something similar to that.
I have a way too far of a gap with me and my older ones. My oldest one is 18. This one there would be another 18-year difference. Definitely not. Yeah, no.
That's what I'm saying. Like, people always think of view of, oh, as long as I'm healthy and able. But always plan for the future. It's
not if you're healthy and able. That child needs to receive love, needs someone to be present at all times. It's not just about financially being stable. Everything does not involve money. And if you're there, money isn't everything.
Like, I mean, I can't imagine. Like, I used to wake my kids up in the middle of the night. Like, random snowstorm, we're going outside, we're going to play. I can't imagine being like at 16, being like, hey, get up, guys. Get up. It's snowing. Let's go play. Like, I can't. Like, the energy. Like, and that's the thing, because it's not just energy, too. The emotional toll kids take on you that I feel like most people don't talk about. Like, that whole feeling of, like, oh, my God, am I doing it right? Am I being a failure? Or, you know, whatever. Like,
what you give to your first kids, you have to be able to give to your second and third. And there's a lot of things that I think a lot of parents will say, when you have your kids young and you have your kids older, they say there's a difference because as you grow, you learn a lot of different things. You learn what you should have done with your first one. You do with your second one. Then you do with your third. It's different. There's a different love that you give. When you're so old, you can't give it to what you've done with the first ones.
No,
and the older you get, you should be able to give that. But if you're so old and you can't give that love to them because you don't have the energy, you don't have the time, you just don't have enough to give to them, then you can't be selfish. Again, like I said, money isn't everything.
Or the mental strain that comes along with raising kids.
Right.
Can you imagine, like, if you have onset Alzheimer?
Or another thing that people don't talk about is when you're old, and I'm not saying 40's old, please don't take it that way, but I'm talking about like when you have conditions, when you're like let's just say 48, 50, 52, and you're giving birth, and now it affects your health, like giving birth to this child. What happens if during birth something happens and you now risk your health? You risk giving birth, and it's your life or theirs. You're obviously, the love that you have for this child, you're going to be like, it's obviously theirs. And we're talking about, you know, older, because 40 is not old. I'm about to be 40 soon, in a couple years. But we're talking about when you're putting your health at risk. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. Preeclampsia, gestational diabetes, high blood pressure, bleeding out. I'm talking about that. You have to take in consideration your health as well. And again, we're not attacking anybody. This was a topic that came in randomly. So although, you know, these are touchy subjects, we're still going to hit them. They're just things that you have to consider beforehand. But again, these are our opinions, to each their own. And, you know, miracles happen.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Did you read that? You risk your life every time you give birth, regardless of the age?
Yeah.
You're right, you do risk your life. I just feel like those risks are increased as you get older, too.
Yeah.
Same thing with, like, pregnancy. That's why they tell you, like, try not to have kids after 40. Because, again, those risk increases. I mean, there was a death in the Lehigh Valley a couple years ago to somebody who was like 26. She gave birth and ended up passing away at a really young age. Now imagine when it doubles, because the risk double because of a high age. And we're not talking about, you know, it happens all the time just because you're in your, you know, late 30s, early 40s. Again, it can happen at any. I just said what I think medically is, you know, 40s, 45, 46, and stuff like that. But you're absolutely right. You risk your life every time you give birth, because anything can go wrong, especially with, you know, when you're going through labor. And it's funny how men don't have the risk that women have, and they're having children as well, just as women are, but we take the more of the risk than what they do. That's why I think more people are like, oh, it's okay if men have kids at 60, because they don't carry the baby, so the risks aren't as prominent as it is for a female.
Right.
But again, we don't control the future, so they could knock up somebody today and pass away tomorrow.
No, I took care of a lady in her early 30s, postpartum, stroke, and passed.
Oof.
And that's sad. 30s. Yeah. That's why anything medical is always a risk. Anything you do is always a risk. Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm. Yes, men are God's treasure.
Piece of shit.
Whatever, we're not even gonna there's no clapping. We're not even gonna, you know what?
Insert eye roll.
We're just gonna do that.
Honestly, at the rate women are going, we ain't gonna even need men.
No, we could just wipe them out.
Yo, really, they just stressing us the fuck out and ain't even helping.
There's no use for them
we got
at all.
Now.
He made us first. He should, yeah.
And then he improved on y'all. That's why he made women second.
Oh, wait. Now the men come out of, look it. We did not have men comment this whole, oh, wait. Let's just sit back and listen to all the men comment.
God, just because you got a penis don't mean shit.
Look at
plastic ones.
Look at all the men commenting now. Okay. Alrighty then. Yes, we are. Clap, clap. Thank you. El Carib 80 for the comment. We got all the men. Oh, thank you.
Then let them be the one to fucking carry babies.
Let them push them through their little hole.
Yeah. C-section. There's options.